What I'm about to share with you was discovered by Joel Goldsmith in 1946, when he experienced what he called the mystical marriage, a direct communion with divine consciousness that changed everything. This wasn't theory or wishful thinking. It was a living, breathing reality that transformed not only his own life but thousands of others who learned this sacred practice. For over 30 years, Joel quietly taught this 3-minute meditation to students around the world. The results were so profound that many called it miraculous. But Joel knew better. He understood this was simply the natural response when human consciousness aligns with its divine source through proper spiritual technique. Here's what makes this meditation different from anything you've tried before. Joel called it the treatment of receptivity. And it works by dissolving the mental barriers that block your natural healing flow. You don't try to heal anything. Instead, you become so receptively aligned with divine consciousness that healing happens naturally. The technique is beautifully simple. You sit quietly, close your eyes, and repeat silently, "I am receptive to divine love." But here's the crucial part Joel discovered. You don't just say the words. You feel yourself opening like a flower to sunlight, allowing divine love to fill every cell of your being. This is a spiritual practice that works alongside professional care when needed. As you continue with, "I am receptive to divine love," something remarkable begins to happen within the first minute. Your breathing naturally deepens, your mind quiets, and you start feeling a warm, healing presence surrounding you. Joel taught that this presence isn't something outside of you. It's your own divine nature awakening. During the second minute, you simply rest in this receptive state, letting go of any need to control or direct the healing. The third minute is where the real transformation occurs. You feel yourself expanding beyond your physical body, connected to an infinite source of healing love. Most people notice subtle shifts immediately, though deeper healing unfolds over weeks of practice. What Joel discovered through decades of practice was that this meditation works by changing your fundamental relationship with healing itself. Instead of trying to fix what's wrong, you're aligning with what's eternally right, your divine wholeness. This shift in consciousness creates space for natural healing to occur on every level: physical, emotional, and spiritual. The beauty is in its simplicity. No complicated techniques, no forcing, just pure receptivity to divine love. Joel often said, "Grace appears when we stop trying to heal ourselves and start allowing ourselves to be healed." This 3-minute practice is your direct pathway to that grace-filled state of receptivity. Let me share what happened to Margaret Thompson, a school teacher from Ohio, who learned this meditation in 1952. She'd been struggling with chronic fatigue that left her barely able to teach her classes. Traditional treatments weren't helping. When Margaret first heard about Joel's meditation, she was honestly skeptical. 3 minutes to heal everything? It sounded too simple, she later wrote to Joel. But her desperation outweighed her doubt, so she committed to trying it daily. For the first 2 weeks, Margaret noticed only subtle changes: slightly better sleep, moments of unexpected peace. She almost quit, thinking it wasn't working. But something kept drawing her back to those 3 precious minutes each morning. By the 3rd week, Margaret began experiencing what she described as gentle waves of renewal throughout her day. Her energy started returning gradually, not all at once, but steadily. Her students noticed she seemed more present, more patient. After 6 weeks of faithful practice, Margaret wrote to Joel, "I wake up refreshed now. My body feels lighter, my mind clearer. But the most profound change is in my heart. I feel connected to something vast and loving." This wasn't instant healing, but rather a beautiful unfolding over time. Margaret continued the practice for years, and it became the foundation of her spiritual life. She often said this meditation taught her the difference between curing and healing. Another powerful testimony comes from Robert Martinez, a businessman from California who discovered Joel's meditation during a particularly challenging time. He was dealing with anxiety attacks that were affecting his work and family relationships. Robert had tried various approaches, but nothing seemed to provide lasting relief. When a friend mentioned Joel Goldsmith's teachings, Robert was initially resistant. "I'm not really a meditation type," he admitted. But the simplicity of the 3-minute practice appealed to his practical nature. Robert started doing it during his lunch breaks, finding a quiet spot in his car. The first week felt awkward, his mind racing with business concerns. Gradually, Robert began to notice something shifting. Those 3 minutes became an oasis of calm in his hectic days. The anxiety attacks became less frequent, less intense. After 2 months, Robert realized he was approaching challenges differently. Instead of fighting his anxious thoughts, he was learning to return to that receptive state he'd discovered in meditation. "I found my center," Robert often tells people. Not through trying harder, but through trying less. His family noticed the change too. Robert became more present with his children, more patient with daily frustrations. This meditation didn't just address his anxiety, it transformed his entire approach to living. If you're feeling inspired by these transformation stories, like this video to help others discover these powerful teachings, subscribe to the channel for more Joel Goldsmith wisdom, and in the comments share what resonated most with you from these healing journeys. Now let me teach you what Joel called the spiritual treatment for emotional patterns. This complements the basic meditation beautifully. When you notice old fears, anger, or sadness arising, you don't fight them or analyze them. Instead, you acknowledge them gently and return to your receptive state. Joel taught that emotional healing happens when we stop identifying with our problems and start identifying with our divine nature. During your 3-minute meditation, if difficult emotions surface, simply include them in your receptivity. Think, "I am receptive to divine love healing this sadness," or "I am receptive to divine love transforming this fear." The key insight Joel discovered was that we don't heal emotions by pushing them away. We heal them by surrounding them with so much divine love that they naturally transform. It's like darkness disappearing in the presence of light. This approach requires patience and gentleness with yourself. Some emotional patterns have deep roots and may take months to fully shift, but every moment of receptive awareness contributes to your healing journey. Joel often reminded students, "You're not trying to become someone different. You're allowing your true nature to emerge." This spiritual treatment works by dissolving the false beliefs that keep painful patterns active in your life. Here's another essential technique Joel taught: the grace method versus human effort. Most people approach healing like they're trying to fix a broken machine, pushing, forcing, struggling against their limitations. But Joel discovered that true healing flows from grace, not effort. During your 3-minute meditation, you're not trying to make anything happen. You're simply becoming available for divine action in your life. This doesn't mean passive waiting. It means active receptivity, opening your consciousness like rich soil receives rain. Grace can only flow through a consciousness that's not blocked by resistance, worry, or desperate striving. Joel used to say, "The moment you stop trying to heal yourself and start allowing divine love to heal through you, miracles become natural." This shift from doing to being is revolutionary for most people. When you practice the meditation, notice any tendency to force results or measure progress. Instead, return to simple receptivity. Trust that divine intelligence knows exactly what healing you need and when you need it. This trust itself becomes a healing force. As you release control and embrace receptivity, you'll discover that divine love is far more intelligent and creative than any human plan for healing could ever be. Let me address something you might be experiencing. But what if this meditation isn't working for me? This doubt is completely natural and actually part of the healing process. Joel himself went through periods of questioning. The logical mind wants immediate, measurable results. But spiritual healing often works subtly at first, creating internal shifts that become visible over time. If you're not feeling dramatic changes, that doesn't mean nothing is happening. Joel taught that doubt is simply another thought to include in your receptivity. Instead of fighting your skepticism, bring it into the meditation. I am receptive to divine love healing my doubt about this process. Sometimes people struggle with the meditation because they're trying too hard to feel something specific. Remember, this practice isn't about achieving a particular experience. It's about becoming genuinely open to whatever divine love wants to bring you. Some days you'll feel profound peace. Other days you might feel restless or distracted. Both are perfectly normal. Joel emphasized that faithfulness to the practice matters more than the quality of any individual session. One student told Joel, "I've been doing this for a month and still feel broken." Joel replied, "Good. Now you're ready to let divine love heal what you cannot fix." Sometimes our sense of limitation creates the opening for grace. Another common challenge is finding time for meditation in a busy schedule. Joel understood this struggle and offered practical wisdom. 3 minutes is shorter than most commercial breaks. You can find 3 minutes. He suggested linking the meditation to an existing habit. Before morning coffee, after brushing your teeth, during lunch break. The key is consistency rather than perfection. Missing a day doesn't ruin anything. Joel also taught that you could practice receptivity throughout the day in micro moments. Waiting in line, sitting in traffic, walking between meetings. Any moment can become an opportunity to return to, "I am receptive to divine love." Here's what happened to Linda Peterson, a nurse from Michigan who initially struggled with the meditation. For 3 weeks, she felt like she was just sitting there thinking about her to-do list. Linda was ready to give up, but Joel's teaching about persistence inspired her to continue. During the 4th week, something shifted. Linda began experiencing what she called little miracles. Difficult patients became cooperative. Stressful shifts flowed more smoothly. After 3 months, Linda realized the meditation had transformed not just her work experience, but her entire sense of purpose. She felt more compassionate, less drained by others' suffering. The healing wasn't just personal, it radiated to everyone around her. If these techniques for overcoming challenges are speaking to your heart, like this video to support this content, subscribe to the channel for more advanced spiritual practices, and in the comments write, which obstacle are you most ready to transform using these principles? Now I want to share Joel's most advanced teaching, Christ consciousness realization. This isn't about religious doctrine, but about awakening to your true spiritual identity. During your meditation, after the first minute of receptivity, you can expand into this deeper awareness. Begin to sense that the divine love you're receiving isn't separate from you. It is you. Joel taught that Christ consciousness is simply human consciousness awakened to its divine nature. You're not trying to become something you're not. You're recognizing what you've always been beneath the surface thoughts and emotions. This realization brings profound peace and unlimited healing potential because you're no longer looking outside yourself for wholeness. When you touch this Christ consciousness during meditation, something remarkable happens. You stop experiencing yourself as a separate being trying to get healing from somewhere else. Instead, you realize you are the healing presence. This doesn't make you special or superior. It makes you available to serve as a channel for divine love in the world. Joel experienced this realization fully, and it transformed his entire ministry from trying to heal people to helping them discover their own divine nature. From this awareness, your 3-minute meditation becomes less about receiving healing and more about being healing itself. You become a blessing to everyone you encounter, often without saying a word. Let me share how David Richardson, an engineer from Texas, experienced this Christ consciousness awakening. David was naturally analytical and initially approached the meditation like a problem to solve. For months, he focused on technique and results. One day during meditation, David suddenly felt what he described as dissolving into pure love. For a moment, there was no David trying to heal, no problems to fix, only infinite healing presence. This lasted just seconds, but it changed everything. From that day forward, David's meditation wasn't about getting something, but about expressing something. His relationships improved, his work became more fulfilling, and challenges that once seemed overwhelming felt manageable within this larger perspective. Here's Joel's profound teaching about divine design for manifestation. When your consciousness is aligned through meditation, you begin to sense that your life has a divine pattern, a perfect unfolding that surpasses anything your human mind could plan. During meditation, instead of asking for specific things, you become receptive to divine guidance about your next steps. Joel discovered that when we're truly receptive, life begins organizing itself around our highest good. This doesn't mean passive waiting for things to happen. It means inspired action flowing from inner guidance rather than anxious planning from fear or lack. Your 3-minute meditation becomes a daily consultation with divine wisdom. As you develop this practice over months, you'll begin noticing synchronicities, meaningful coincidences that seem to support your path. People appear at the right moment, opportunities open, resources become available in unexpected ways. Joel taught that this isn't magic or wishful thinking. It's the natural result of consciousness aligned with divine love. When you're truly receptive, you become magnetic to experiences that serve your spiritual growth and authentic purpose. One student told Joel, "Since beginning this meditation, my whole life feels like it's being rearranged by loving hands. This is the divine design revealing itself through a consciousness that's learned to receive rather than demand." Now for integrating this practice into daily life beyond the 3-minute sessions. Joel emphasized that meditation isn't separate from living, it's the foundation for conscious living. Throughout your day, you can return to receptivity in micro moments. Before important conversations, silently open to divine love. Before meals, receive gratitude. Before sleep, release the day into divine care. This continuous receptivity transforms ordinary activities into spiritual practice. Joel lived this way, and people felt something special in his presence. You can develop this same quality, not through perfection, but through consistent willingness to receive divine love in each moment. Here's the mastery technique Joel taught his most advanced students. Healing others through your own receptivity. When someone you care about is suffering, instead of trying to send them healing energy, you simply become more receptive yourself. You enter your meditation with the understanding that divine love has no boundaries. As you open to receive healing, you're also opening space for healing to reach them. This approach avoids the ego trap of trying to be the healer. Joel discovered that our own receptive consciousness creates a field of possibility that others can access if they choose. We can't force healing on anyone, but we can hold space for healing to be available. As we conclude this journey together, understand that you now possess something precious, a direct pathway to divine healing that has been tested by thousands of people over decades. This 3-minute meditation is not just technique, it's a way of life. Your willingness to receive divine love doesn't just heal you, it contributes to the healing of our entire world. Every moment of genuine receptivity adds to the collective consciousness of love, peace, and wholeness. Joel's greatest teaching was that we are all connected in divine love. As you practice this meditation faithfully, you join a timeless community of souls committed to awakening, healing, and serving from the deepest truth of who we are. If you feel your spiritual understanding has expanded after discovering these Joel Goldsmith secrets, like this video, subscribe to the channel because I have more transformative teachings waiting for you, and in the comments write "I am transformed" to confirm your commitment to this new spiritual path.